Well, Red Auerbach and Bill Russell is an interesting story. Let's start with this. Bill Russell has told people, including myself personally, that he never would have been the same success in the NBA for any other coach other than Red Auerbach. And his appreciation of Red had to do with the fact that one of Red's great strengths was he was the anti-Vince Lombardi. He did not treat them all alike. He treated everyone in a specific manner. He was a great student of human psychology, and Russell truly appreciated this. So start with that. Now, the converse is, as Auerbach quickly found out, he was never going to coach a smarter player than Bill Russell, or a more determined player than Bill Russell, and that it would be completely counterproductive to try to force Russell to do something he didn't want to do. Red instinctively knew that. Now, in terms of the talent aspect, it's not easy. People today cannot comprehend that when Bill Russell entered the NBA in 1956, there were some skeptics. Despite the 2 national championships at UCLA, despite the gold medal, he wasn't the type of center they were used to. Bill Russell was extraordinarily athletic in a manner that no center had yet been in the NBA. As he once told other people, including myself, I could kick the rim, quote unquote. He was an athlete so far ahead of his time. His forte was defending the rim, now we call it rim protection, shot blocking, and defense in general. This is not the type of center that was in vogue. He was a different thing. And Auerbach identified this and exploited it as well as any coach could have. So, and then they became truly friendly. Remember, he was named coach. Auerbach, when he quit, he coached. And why did he do it? He said he figured the only person that Bill Russell would play for would be Bill Russell. And maybe he was right. Maybe it wasn't just a throwaway line, but he recognized that. But would he have empowered Russell if he didn't honestly believe he could do the job? Of course not. Of course not. So it was a wonderful partnership. And after it was over, Russell wrote a book about his friendship with Red Auerbach. And so in NBA history, there truly has never been anything like it. Red Auerbach and Tommy Heinsohn, an interesting dynamic. I don't know if Red ever actually had a specific conversation and said, Tommy, look, here's the deal. I'm going to use you as the foil. I'm going to yell at you, but I'm actually trying to get to some other people who would not be so receptive or would take things harder. And so don't mind, you'll understand. Or whether he just inherently he did it because he figured that Tommy Heinsohn would understand what was going on. But believe me, I know from talking to Heinsohn and that he certainly did understand. And the idea, well, you didn't yell at Cousy in a certain way. You didn't yell at Bill Sharman. I wouldn't say they were sensitive, but they were proud. But Tommy Heinsohn, he thought could understand how this. It was a tactic. And now you think about it, how much sense it actually made. If after a while everybody knew what was going on, But they got the message, obviously, that when he was mostly yelling at Heinsohn, that he was sending a message to somebody else, and I guess they were supposed to figure out who it was. Well, the NBA was a mom-and-pop league in the 50s. There were no such thing as assistant coaches. That did not come into vogue until the late 60s, early 70s. And the Celtics were not a wealthy organization. Walter Brown, supposedly, as the stories go, the owner of the Celtics, had to mortgage his house at some point in the early 50s to pay the playoff shares for his team. That's, it's part of this folklore of the Celtics. Red Auerbach was I guess he had to book the team into the hotels. He was the traveling secretary, or booked the flights as well. And then in the course of a game, your only assistant was your trainer who kept track of the fouls. That's what everybody did. But that's how every team was. So Red had all those responsibilities. Now, and not every team with the coach and the GM. Red was one of the, but in terms of coaching, by yourself, they all did. But Red had all the additional duties. But Red did it, and he did it for 16 years, from 1950 to 1966. And won, by the way, 9 championships doing it that way. And then by the end of 1969, it was up to 11.